was the biggest thing you saw on the campus? Because my son's going to be going to college in a couple of years, and I'm sure I'm going to see some things as well. By the way, I feel a lot more comfortable about my son going to college than I do my daughter. Just because I do think that girls feel like they have to stay in fashion, and they have to wear things that I'm not entirely convinced that they want to wear.
Yeah. And there's more threat. I mean,
every time I'm watching college football on Saturday afternoons, and again, I'm not a creep, I'm a father, okay? So I see these things. Whenever they go into a commercial.
Yep.
And they had a picture of a couple of Alabama co-eds at the Southern Miss game, and there's a reason why they were on television.
You're right.
I mean, this whole we're not trying to sexualize things is ridiculous.
You're right, because there's 100,000.
I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys game last night, and every chance they got, they showed the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Well, because they're
Give me
Americans.
a break. We watch it on here. I mean, and so there was two girls. Super attractive, long blonde hair. One had the houndstooth hat on. She had the tube top on. She's jumping up and down. Yep. The other one had some dress on that was something I would kill my daughter if she ever wore. And they're, Alabama's up. We'll be back in a moment. I'm going. And then when they came back from the commercial, they went right back to the same two girls again because they were probably the best two-looking gals in the entire stadium. I'm like,
is the producer calling that out, or is that the camera person?
I got the next shot. I got camera two. And I'm like, I know what's going on here. They could pick anybody.
Yeah.
In the stadium.
They could have a big old fat guy who's saved his money to,
And they're showing two co-eds, two 18-year-old co-eds, and I'm going, come on. And I get it. I understand it. It's like, whoa, that's the distraction. That's look at that. I mean, I even found myself wanting to pause it. Oh, do I know? My son was, do I know her? Hold on. I think that's a woman I know from career day. I'm like, so what is the biggest thing that you see your daughter going to college that's going to be? Because your daughter's a good girl.
Yeah. Yes, she is. I think the thing that you realize, there's two things. One, my daughter's a tour guide, so she's taken prospective students and their parents on a tour. And it was great. It was really cool to watch. I had to sneak. Actually, watch. Because it's only parents and children. So my daughter was like, okay, now I want you to stand over on the side. Mm-hmm. And once we start the tour, you can just kind of walk with us because it's a public tour, which felt a little creepy because everybody was kids and parents. And there's me, this guy in sunglasses and a backpack. I felt like, but so the one thing that I thought was, it's a reminder that we still live in a pretty dangerous world, particularly on college campuses, even though, so my daughter was going through the tour and she's talking about the emergency boxes. If you ever feel unsafe, the college is monitored 24/7 by campus police as well as the city of Charleston police. And this goes, every campus is this way. But I remember talking about all the boxes that you can push and be escorted and we have this all on campus. And just as a parent, my first thing was, oh, that's right. Just that kind of, it's dangerous or I'm sorry, it can be dangerous and you can't, it's a realization that you can't protect your child. So that was one. The other thing was watching on a college campus. Again, if you're my age and your kid is in college, you still remember your college days and you kind of remember, but you walk around and you realize you don't have control of your kids anymore.
Yeah. And you remember your college days because you were a male.
Yeah.
You could get drunk off your ass and pretty much control everything that happened in your life.
And let me tell you, that was one of the things that I think was most disturbing. It wasn't the Daisy Dukes in the bikini. I mean, that was.
It's the guys who are scoping in on the Daisy Dukes.
Exactly. And, you can chalk it up to boys will be boys and girls. But it's this realization, Tony, that you get to this point as a parent where the easiest thing for you to do is say, well, they're on their own. No. And the reality is, son or daughter, really, because if it's a son and you're going, well, he's just going to do what he does, now you're a crappy parent.
Yeah.
So I think that this realization that she's on her own. Then the positive part, though, was watching her interact with her friends, with her sorority sisters, and just sort of watching who the friends were. And that's what I was doing. I mean, I wasn't there to do that. And realizing, okay, at least as far as I can tell in these 4 days, we've done a good job. And I would recommend every parent, go spend some time with your kid on campus while they're living on campus. You don't go for a week because you'll drive them freaking bananas.
Yeah.
But hang out, go to a local hotel, stay in a place, and just hang out with them as they're doing their thing, because you get to see a part of your child that you never get to see when you're at home.
Yeah.
And good or bad, you're gonna get a much more realistic picture.
The other thing is young women are wildebeest, travel in groups.
They'll tell
Men
you
will
they
not.
have to.
Well, they do, and whenever we hear even the Petito situation,
Yep.
whenever you're talking about a female, and I remember the story, the girl that went to Aruba, the Mountain Brook girl. Whenever you're alone, you're going to be preyed upon, and it's super creepy and it's super unfortunate, and it happens and it's horrible. But when women have groups, and we know because we're guys, we're much more apt to go after that young little wildebeest that has no one around her because she's vulnerable, and not
Think
so
about
we
that.
do that.
Best thing you can do is
But if you have more than two women together, you are much less likely. I mentioned the story. We used to do remotes up at Denny Chimes every weekend, even when there wasn't football games, and I would see these groups of 2, 3, 4 women, and they were drunk.
Yeah.
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
and what they were wearing, and I'm going,
Yep.
geez, dude, and you would see the guys.
Yep.
And again, we're not painting all guys like creeps. Okay?
No, but this is what I saw.
Not all guys but the guys do stupid things when opportunities present themselves. And there would be drinking too, but I would see groups of guys following these girls around in alleyways and street corners, and there'd be groups, and I'm going, and it's scary, man. It's scary.
Listen,
not all guys are like that. Not all people are like that. But again, if you have to be looking out for stuff like that.
I was going to say, as a dad, and dad of sons and daughters,
And knowing now,
sure.
knowing now, I'm 55. I don't think I've dated a woman who hasn't been sexually harassed.
That's what I was just going to.
Every woman
Yes.
I've dated, my
Yes.
share. Every woman I've dated has been at
least
one
harassed.
point in their life sexually harassed. Not raped necessarily, but sexually harassed at some point, whether it be at work, on campus, on a date, somewhere. They have been violated.
I was just going to say, if you're a guy, try to be compassionate about the fact that you don't have to walk around, for the most part, in fear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that ain't a double standard. That's a wrong. And it's
think about that.
Yeah,
A guy can get as drunk, off kilter as he wants on campus, and for the most part, he's not going to be
For the most
violated,
part, yeah.
unless some guy wants to kick the shit out of him.
but that's it. And that's why you need to teach your kids, particularly your sons, that's not only not okay, it's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, and I won't do because I won't. And you better make sure that if your daughter has a new boyfriend, that
Thumbs up this weekend?
thumbs up. Good guy.
For a weekend, yeah.
Listen, dude. And let me tell you,
He looks
something.
good in uniform.
There's nothing worse. Both my kids have dated.
Yep.
You want to really freak your kids' date out? Have your kid tell your date, you're going to meet my parents. Oh, and they're both psychologists.
And we're going axe throwing.
Yeah. The axe throwing thing.
I always find that's good. Whenever
I
you want to
thought that
take
was
it,
just-
we're going out skeet shooting. Or you want to go hunting?
Well, that's
We're going to go shooting. No, it's the
Because,
45 in the woods.
That's
really.
not me. I can't do right. I don't shoot or whatever.
That's the
That
next
is
thing.
exactly. Now the scariest thing though was this guy was really good with an axe.
Yeah.
Like super
Well, your
good.
daughter's pretty good with an axe, too.
Yeah.
I saw
Well,
that.
I stood back and I'm like, okay, she can hold her own.
Do you have another
No, I
sponsor?
do not.
Okay, I'm going to play some classic rock. Just say something for a minute.
Oh my God, it's good to be back. It is good to be back on Kurre and Klapow. I feel like I've had a therapy session today. That's why you got to watch us. You got to watch us every day or listen to us because you're gonna get the real us, and you're gonna get all kinds of nuggets of good, spicy life